All right, so I'm going to show you guys a kind of an overview of what Voxory is capable of. So here we have the dashboard, and this dashboard is connected to a couple different shows. This is the network option, but here you can see the next recording is set for 23 hours from now and 39 minutes even. You click here to open the teleprompter. I'll show you what that looks like here in a minute. You can see the total number of episodes, how many are recording this week, booked guests, and so on all the way through. This is again for the whole network. You have the upcoming episodes area here, and each one of these are clickable. You can click in to go to there. We'll head back to the dashboard. If there's any recent notifications, those show up here. You click to view all, or we have the notifications here on the top as well. Over on the side over here, we have the recently recorded area. This is a pretty interesting area. Here we have the episode ideas. So we can click get 5 new episode ideas. That's all connected to the show brain. We'll talk about that maybe in another video, but that's where that kind of goes to. Down here, episode vault is quite literally all of the episodes that get recorded for your show. So as we move to the top here, we have the calendars area. In the calendars, again, because this is a network, I can see all the different shows when they're being recorded. And if I go back, you can see there's even more. And then again, on any of these, I could click to go into that specific episode. And then if I go on this other side here, we have the posting schedule. So these are when they're going to be posted. And I can go through and see again when and where everything's at. The pipeline is super useful because in this first area here, these are all the booked or solo type of episodes. This is the episodes that are on the schedule that have not yet been recorded. Once they get recorded, all you need to do is take it, slide it over. Now it's in the recorded area. That just means that, hey, I've recorded that episode. Then the next area here is process. And what this is, the episode has been processed. What that means is the audio has been worked on. It's been kind of edited for sound. And then again, you could just drag this over and put this back over here because that one actually hasn't been done yet. But then again, you would drag it over. Edited is the audio is ready. The video is ready. If you have a video, it's all set and ready. And then the next one is uploaded. You're going to upload it to whatever platform that you're going to use so that the listeners can get access to it. And then this last one over here, the published, this one actually takes care of itself because these are the episodes that are published currently. And the beautiful thing about this is it knows your schedule on the back end, and it's only going to put whatever episode is up there as the proper one that is live currently. So you can see, again, I have 3 different shows in this network view. I have the Prestigious Initiative. This one is live, in fact, today, July 8th. This one is the TriStar podcast. This one, again, is live today. And then this is the Voxory podcast. Again, this is those are all the live episodes. Then as we move over here, guest in the network view, I don't have it pull in all the guests, but on the individual ones, if you had guests, that's where they would be. And I'll show you what that looks like maybe in another video. Teleprompter. Teleprompter is probably one of the most useful things here. And the wonderful thing for this is I could click here and let's go to this one here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit voice. It's going to listen. Now, if I hit F on my keyboard, it puts us into full screen. Again, so powerful right here. I'm saying words. It's actually listening to me right now, but I'm not saying any of the words that are on the script. When I start saying the words that's on the script, it'll start to highlight those words and it'll automatically scroll with me as well. So let's check this. You're sitting down to record another podcast episode and you feel that familiar knot in your stomach. You start thinking about every little detail. And the color here is kind of dark. That's because the secondary color that we have, we can change that to make that a little bit more legible. But again, you can see I stopped. It stopped as well. And then, if I so wanted to, if I scroll, if I'm just manually scrolling, I want to jump ahead, the guest said something, or I'm going to jump to another spot. So I'm going to start with this area here. Is this really adding value to my episode? Often the answer will be no. So identify that cycle early in your process. And right there, you can see it's tracking with what I'm saying. If I hit F again, it goes out of that. Now, Inside of here, in the settings, I have settings to control the scroll speed, the text size, the line spacing, if I want it center or left justified, the text weight, if I want it bolded or not. So if I click on bold, you can see now the words are in bold. The voice tracking sensitivity, all of the settings for this teleprompter are right in there. Again, very, very powerful for that. Weekly report. Again, this is another one that's got so much power to it. The weekly report shows in how many do I have recording this week, how many total scripts are written, how many briefs have been sent. That's briefs to the guest and also briefs to me, the host, as I'm doing this. Thank you emails after we have a guest, sending them a thank you email. Hey, thanks for being on. I really appreciate your insights that you added to my show. It automatically gives me that. I can copy and paste it over to send it out. That's telling me that with transcripts, blog assets that are ready. And then I have the total show health, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as well. But again, that's the kind of weekly show report. Next one, tab over here on the top is the stats. And the stats, I can see the stats again, and because I'm in the network view, I can see the stats for all of the shows that are connected to this network, right? If you had individual shows, it would be the same thing. It would just would be, a little bit more specific to that individual show. But again, I have the total episodes with scripts, all of this. The grade. The grade is something that I think is so powerful, because what this does is, after I record the episode, I give Voxory a transcript. So if I go back to dashboard, let's go to this one here. This has got a grade. If I go in here, after I do this episode, after I record this, I just copy and paste my transcript in here. Now, there's lots of different tools you can use for this. I use a free tool, but again, there's lots of different ones. It just takes all the words I say, pow, I copy and paste it in there. What that does is, this is kind of the foundation for how the description gets done. So it writes the description for me. The other thing that it does is it does the social medias. So I have the launching campaign. This is the announcement, the insights, the quote, the behind the scenes, the questions. All of that stuff is right there, and it gets done for you. And then underneath of that, I have title suggestions. So if I have maybe a different idea, maybe I'm kind of workshopping different titles, that's going to give me 5 different ideas for that. And then I have some marketing notes in here where I have Twitter and Instagram and those kind of things right in there as well. It gets pre-populated. Another one is the blog post. Again, blog post is super handy in this day and age. And so this will create a blog post based on the transcript that I have for the episode. Right, it has all in there, and it's connected to that specific episode because it knows the words and the things that I talked about in there. I have the repurpose area here as well. This is the email newsletter hooks, is YouTube description. It has the short form video hooks. It has the Apple Podcast description. It has the key quotes bank, all right there. And then I have the SEO. Again, SEO so powerful. The SEO title, the focus keywords, the meta descriptions, the URL slug, the tags, the chapter markers, and notes, as well as the search questions right in there. If I have any notifications that go along with this episode, you can see I've done some testing in here, I've done this a couple times, but I can click in here. Look at this. I can see the different things that go with this. Okay, here's the brief that's ready. All right, super. That's so I know this actually gets sent to me, the host, so I know I have an idea of what I'm going to be talking about when I sit down to do this episode. It just gives me a heads up of, hey, this is what it's going to be about. The grade is what we talked about. I have the grade, right? It automatically chooses that. It gives me a letter grade B for this one. Okay, I could do better. This episode delivers practical advice in crafting a guest brief, which is valuable for podcasters. However, there's some areas where clarity could be improved and some parts maybe feel rushed or lacked polish. Okay, so that's information for me. I know that I can work on those things to get better for the next one. It does it automatically. It gives me the grade for it. Let's go back here to stats. And then I can see, all right, look at, I got 39 A's. I got 22 B's. I don't have any C's or D's. My average grade across these networks is a A. And then down here, I can see the pipeline status where each and every of the episodes are. And then over on the production funnel, again, I can see which episodes are in the vault, which episodes have a script that's written, a brief is sent with the transcript, and then the thank you email was sent. And then down here I have the top episode grades. And of course, if I wanted to, I could click into, let's go to Lisa would be a good one. I'm going to go to Lisa here, and I can see, pow, look at that. I got the thumbnail right in there. It has the episode. Here's my grade and why I got it. It's got the script, the transcript, all of the different things that are in there. Now, Moving to the next area is the notifications. Notifications, Voxer is automatically doing things for me. One of the things is it writes the script, and so I have an opportunity where I can kind of give it an outline, some different ideas, and what it's going to do is it's going to create a script for me from those ideas. And so this is one that I have just been working on. So if I'm going to go to this here, it's going to show me that. Look at that. It's got the little notification here because it just did this right now as we're recording. If I go to the script, look, this is a co-host show, so it has me as one host, and then actually my boss is the other host for the martial arts school, and so we get to have kind of a back and forth type of conversation here, and it says who's saying what and how much words we're saying, and it's got the whole script in there. And the beautiful thing is, Voxory knows how long my episodes are because in the settings, that's where I'm at over here is the settings. If I scroll down here, I can see content generation. Okay, for solo episode, I want this one to be between 20 and 30 minutes. I could choose different length of time. And then my interview episodes, so if I have a guest, how long is that episode? And then because of that, it's going to know, okay, this episode is going to be 20 to 30 minutes. It's going to need to be, let's say, 5,000 words. All right, great. So it's going to make the intro, it's going to make the content of it, and then the outro for the show, all adding up to be, again, around about 20 to 30 minutes, depending on how you speak. And then we talked about the publishing. Once I hit the episode has been recorded, if I move it over on that pipeline page, it's going to say, hey, all right, this one's been done. It's got the transcript in it. It's ready to go. When is it going to be? So on my calendar, it's going to look and say, okay, this guy, he posts his episodes on Wednesdays at 8 o'clock. Let's look on the calendar and see when I have an opening. Oh, okay, here's my opening. It's going to automatically pick when that next day is. I can't tell you how many times. I'm sure you've been there. I've been there as well. Been on with a guest. Okay, man, when is this one going to go live? Okay, let me look at my calendar, scroll this day right here. All right. That's something you don't have to worry about anymore. It takes care of it for you. The blog post, how long do we want the blog post to be? Okay, between 800 and 1200 words. All right, there's my selection for that. And then the blog post tone. What tone do I want the blog post to be in? Do I want it to match the show voice? Do I want it to be editorial, conversational, or even academic? I have those options right in there. Now, going from the top here of the settings page, I can choose the branding. Now, the default branding, I'll reset the default, kind of looks like this. This is what you're going to see as you get logged in there for the first time. I get to choose. I can change this. So let's say I want the primary color to be, let's say, this kind of color. Kind of lighten it up a little bit. I want, of course, the words, the text color here is going to have to be darker. We're going to set this to here. And let's say we want to do this kind of red color, orange. All right, I hit apply. Pow! And it's that color across all of the different things. If I go to dashboard, look, each and every one of those things, it changes the theme, the branding for the show. And you get to start out with the Voxory logo, but if you wanted to change your logo and put your own show logo in there, it would do that for you. In fact, here, let me show you this drop down. If I go to the prestigious initiative, this is the prestigious initiative branding. So, and here everything is kind of green and gold because that's what my artwork is for that. There's my logo. It puts the logo right up here in the corner. If I hit the refresh, there you go. It's got the logo right there in the corner. And now I only see content that is specific to that show. If I go over here again to the drop down, I go to the TriStar podcast. All right, now I got the TriStar podcast logo over here. I see only information regarding that show. So for example, I see recent notifications. Here's that episode, that script that I had Voxory write for me. It's here. However, if I go to, let's say, the Voxory podcast, whoop, it's not there because that doesn't connect to this. So it keeps everything separate in the back end. Now, one of the things I said I wanted to circle around to is that show brain. This show brain is so important. On the onboarding process, I'm sure you've done this already, or if not, you can hear about it now. You're going to feed it, you have the opportunity to feed it a recent transcript that you've done. It's going to dissect it, and it's going to pull out your name, the hook style that you use, your tone, the audience, like who listens to this, who cares about your information, the identity, your show's core identity and mission, the framework style, framework rules, the content principles, the episode patterns, the anti-patterns, the things you never use, and it's going to use this. This is where the system, this is where Voxory learns about you so that when you use Voxory, It's not going to have any sort of generic type of AI garbage that's going to feed to you. This is how we make sure that it's significant for you, it's detailed for you. That's one way. Now, the other way is each and every time you give Voxory more of your information. So you record an episode, you give Voxory your transcript. On the back end, it takes that information and it learns things about how you work, how you operate, how you talk. And then it's going to use that to inform the next run. And so the more you use it, the better it's going to be. Yes, it's going to use this show brain information as sort of the core identity for you and how it knows to make content for you. But every time you give it information, it's going to be learning, it's going to be dissecting, it's going to be pulling more information out. So again, each time you use it, the better it's going to be. And again, that is kind of a quick kind of overview of what Voxory looks like. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll be happy to connect with you there. And if you want to try out Voxory for yourself, you can go to voxory.io to check it out. We have right now 1 month for free.